Today is Yom Hashoah, Holocaust Remembrance Day, and it feels really significant this year. This morning, thinking about and contemplating anti-Semitism and reading posts by people speaking about the rise of anti-Semitism worldwide, something hit me right between the eyes. Of course, listening to Holocaust testimonials is so sobering and moving and so sad. But I guess something about the Jewish people being horrified by the rise of anti-Semitism in our modern era and the attacks on shuls, Jewish institutions, Jewish people, Jewish NGOs, the rising Jew hatred feels like something we thought we'd gotten away from. Somehow we thought that after the Holocaust, the world had learnt a lesson and that anti-Semitism, there would be a reprieve from anti-Semitism. I guess there's this fear of where this is all going. Obviously, we have the Holocaust as a massive catastrophe and pogroms and events before the Holocaust that were anti-Semitic. And it's really hard to describe the fear that Jewish people feel in the face of this monstrous thing rearing its head again. Something else that hit me right between the eyes today and this has to do with the whole anti-Zionism, anti-Semitism debate and discussion that people are trying to get their heads around, and is criticizing Israel anti-Semitic, but Israel's not perfect, etc., etc. And I guess just thinking about why anti-Semitism, I mean, it's like an age-old question of why the Jew, why anti-Semitism? Is it like just a cosmic curse? Like, what is this thing? And I think this is also the case for many different forms of prejudice, but I think that the point has been made that people project the worst of humanity into the other, and in the case of anti-Semitism, into the Jew. So I think that in Israel, we have discussions and debates, and we sit in gray areas about Israel's conduct, and we don't want things done in our name that we don't agree with, but we do want to defend ourselves. But this idea that Israel as a country, the Jewish country, is uniquely demonic somehow, and I'm using the word demonic because I think classic anti-Semitism has that there's something twisted and demonic about the Jew. And I think, and blood libels, that putting the blood of Christian children in matzah, which seems obviously so extremely far-fetched, but somehow this idea of the perverse or the demonic, and any human being is capable of violence. Any country is capable of violence and war crimes. Israel may have, I'm not denying that there's devastation in Gaza, but it feels like it's always the worst of crimes that have to be leveled against the Jewish state as if it is uniquely evil. And there, I think the anti-Zionism and anti-Semitism distinction really gets blurred. So it was so powerful today when the tzvira went off. It was a 2-minute siren, and people just stopping in their tracks and standing and looking in front of me. I was on Ahuza Street, which is kind of the main drag in Ra'anana, and just seeing people of all ages and stages scattered absolutely still around the street in a moment of utter silence, stopped in their tracks. So this is what today does. It stops us in our tracks to really pause and reflect at what we're up against. Yom Hashoah v'Hagvura, the day of the Holocaust and strength, and may we have strength.